Wait, before you buy that next thing, or think about your salary, or even look at your bank account, you need to understand something essential. You are already playing a game, a massive, complex, and high-stakes game. And the worst part, no one ever gave you the instruction manual. Welcome to the invisible game of wealth. Think about it like this. If you were dropped into the middle of a massive multiplayer video game, and you had no idea how the scoring system worked, would you win? Of course not. You would just run around, doing random things, and probably get crushed by the other players who actually know what they are doing. Money is exactly the same. Most people spend their entire lives just pressing the same button, the work for money button, without realizing that the game has 100 other levels and entirely different sets of rules. When I figured this out, it changed everything. I was not just earning a paycheck anymore. I was trying to figure out how to climb. The entire system of wealth, from the guy begging for change to the billionaires fighting for space with rockets, is structured as a series of distinct levels. Each level has its own goals, its own challenges, and its own strategies. What works at level 5 will destroy you at level 50. The real problem is not that you are at level 1, the problem is that you think level 2 is the end of the game. That is why you get stuck. Your problem is not money. Your problem is that you do not know where you are on the map. This video is the map. Let us start at the beginning. Welcome to level 1. This is the starting line, and frankly, it is the hardest level of them all. This is survival mode. When you are here, your primary focus is one thing: tomorrow. You are literally just trying to get through the next 24 hours. At level 1, you have zero stability. Your income is either non-existent or barely enough to cover the most basic human needs: food and shelter. Money is not something you plan for. It is a source of immense, constant stress. If you get sick, you are in trouble. If you lose your job, you are in trouble. This is the place where a small, unexpected problem can cascade into a complete catastrophe. Every dollar that comes and goes right back out, you have zero margin for error. Think about a hamster on a wheel. You are running as fast as you can, but you are not actually moving anywhere. You are just spinning the same wheel. The only way to win level 1 is to find any tiny, microscopic foothold you can. At this stage, you do not care about investing, or passive income, or fancy business models. That is level 100 stuff. At level 1, you care about two things: maximizing any possible income and minimizing every possible expense. This is where you work 2 jobs. This is where you learn to cook oatmeal 5 different ways. Your only goal is to find stability. Once you have a tiny, predictable gap where you earn just a little bit more than you spend, you have completed level 1. You are no longer just surviving. You have earned the right to look a little bit further ahead. You made it. Level 2, the dependency trap. This feels like a huge promotion because, for the first time, you have stability. You have a job. You have a paycheck. You might even have a little bit of savings. Your boss might even like you. Congratulations, you are normal. So, why is this called the dependency trap? It is because your entire life now depends on one single, massive point of failure: your salary. You are trading your most valuable asset, your time, for money. The only way you earn $1 is if you give them 60 minutes of your life. This is the ultimate time for money transaction. This is the most dangerous level because it is so seductive. It is comfortable. Your parents told you this was the goal. Your society tells you this is success. You feel safe, but you are not safe. You are one bad decision, one industry downturn, or one corporate restructuring away from being right back at level 1. The problem with dependency is that it limits your upside. You will never, ever get wealthy by just being good at level 2. You are exchanging your potential for a false sense of security. You are trading your leverage for a consistent income. The goal of level 2 is not to get comfortable. The goal is to accumulate enough surplus energy, enough money to launch you into level 3. If you are at level 2, you are on a treadmill. The only reason to be here is to build the muscles to get off the treadmill. You must take the safety you have and immediately use it to fund your escape plan. Don't build a golden cage and call it a home. This is where things start to get interesting. Level 3, accumulating friction. This is the level where you are not just earning money, you are keeping it. You have conquered the dependency trap by creating a buffer. You have stability now. You probably have an emergency fund, which is like the magical shield of level 3. You have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in the bank, laughing at disasters. A flat tire, that is not a crisis, it is an inconvenience. This change in mindset alone is worth the price of admission. But this level is called friction for a reason. Keeping money is hard. Fighting lifestyle inflation is hard. It feels like every part of your brain, and every advertiser, and all of your friends are pulling at that pile of cash. They are trying to cause friction, they are trying to slow your momentum. The key skill at level 3 is discipline and strategy. You are no longer just working a job, you are running a financial operation. You are calculating your net worth. You are looking for ways to maximize the gap between what you earn and what you spend. You are not rich yet, but you are powerful. The friction is the difficulty of changing your relationship with money. Instead of money being something that is given to you and spent by you, it is now something that is harvested by you and stored by you. You are building energy. You are not just a worker, you are a collector. This buffer you are building at level 3 is essential, because, without it, you cannot possibly survive the leap to the levels that follow. It feels heavy, but it is the only thing that can get you where you want to go. We are jumping ahead. Welcome to level 10, the safety net. This is a crucial, specific milestone that changes your relationship with risk forever. At level 3, you had some cash. At level 10, you have options. You have accumulated enough money that you could stop working for a full year and not have your life collapse. This is not financial freedom yet, not by a long shot, but this is the first true freedom. It is the freedom of no. You can say no to a toxic job. You can say no to a terrible client. You can take a 6-month break to learn a new skill or start a new business venture. You have defeated the dependency trap. A level 10 person is formidable. Why? Because they do not have to behave based on fear. This level is defined by stability. You have diversified your income sources. Maybe your main salary provides 60%, and a small side hustle or rental income provides another 40%. If the main salary goes, you do not crash. The key at level 10 is to manage the friction you accumulated. You have the net, but you also have obligations. The real game here is maintaining this stability while searching for your next opportunity. You have enough energy to take the right risk, the intelligent risk. You do not have to rush into anything out of panic. You are not desperate. This is the point where you start to use money to create advantages for yourself, rather than just solving problems. This level is your new normal, and now, it is time to truly learn how to make money work. Now we are cooking. Level 30, the passive engine. You have reached the level that everyone talks about, but few actually build. You are no longer trading just time for money. You are trading capital, strategy, and systems for money. This is the money machine level. Your goal is to create automated streams of income that work without you. At level 10, you worked for money. At level 30, you have your first machine working for you. This machine could be many things. It could be a simple, diversified stock portfolio that pays dividends. It could be a rental property. It could be a digital product or a business you created that can now be run by others. Notice I said, your first machine. It does not have to replace your entire income. Maybe your machine produces $100 a month. That is amazing. That is $100 you did not have to trade 60 minutes for. Your goal at level 30 is simply to prove the concept, to show yourself that you can create money without selling your labor. This level requires entirely different skills. You need to learn about valuation, systems design, delegation, and risk management. You have to learn the hard lesson that most passive income actually requires a lot of active work in the beginning. You build the engine, and then it can run. Your focus at level 30 is not to become a billionaire. It is to build a predictable, scalable stream of cash. This is the level that starts to decouple your standard of living from your physical time. It is the beginning of leveraging. You are no longer just collecting fuel. You have finally started building a rocket. We have hit the halfway point, and the rules are about to get strange. This is level 50, capital leverage. At this stage, your money machine from level 30 is running well, and you probably have several. But now you have a new problem. You have accumulated so much capital that your problem is no longer making money, but finding things that can absorb the money you have. At level 50, you are no longer focused on simple percentage gains. You are focused on leverage and velocity. You are not just trying to make 5%, you are trying to use your $50,000 to control a $500,000 asset. This is why rich people love debt if used correctly. The skill here is not just picking a good stock, it is about how you move capital. You use debt to control more assets, and you move money out of slower growing assets into faster growing ones. This is about velocity, how many times you can reuse the same dollar in a given year. At level 50, you are playing a game of efficiency. You are a general directing an army of capital. You are not just investing, you are optimizing. You use legal structures, tax advantages, and debt in ways that level to people cannot even begin to imagine. Your income at this level is diversified across many different asset classes. You might not have a job anymore, or if you do it because you want to, not because you need to. You have enough passive income to cover your life, but that is just baseline. Your true game is using the enormous mass of wealth you have to generate more wealth at a faster and faster rate. Welcome to the summit, level 70, true freedom. This is the point where the entire system, the game we have been playing, becomes irrelevant to you. You are, for lack of a better word, free. At level 10, you had options. At level 70, you have no dependencies. Your automated money machines, your investments, your businesses, your royalties produce an income that is so much greater than your cost of living that it becomes impossible for you to spend it. Your life trajectory is completely separated from the global economic grid. This is the ultimate prize, freedom of time and freedom of geography. You wake up every single morning with one simple question: what do I want to do today? You do not ask what you have to do. You do not check with a boss. You do not even check with your investments, because your investments are already being managed by people at level 50 who work for you. You can live anywhere in the world, in any way you want. A cabin in the woods, a penthouse in Tokyo, a simple life on a yacht. It is all the same. The cost of your life is insignificant compared to the capital that is fueling it. This level is defined by a shift in motivation. At level 1, you are motivated by survival. At level 70, you must create your own motivation. The entire game of money is over. For many people, this level can actually be terrifying, because they have spent their whole lives reacting to the need for money. Now that they do not have that need, they have to finally figure out who they actually are. Money cannot solve your internal problems, but it can make sure you have the time and the peace to solve them. Level 80, Generation Wealth. At level 70, you are personally free. At level 80, you extend that freedom into the future. You are no longer just managing your money for your own lifetime. You are managing a legacy. This level is about creating systems that provide for your descendants, for people you will never meet. You are building foundations and trusts, and you are focused on things like estate planning, governance, and long-term tax optimization. Your goal is simple but incredibly difficult: to ensure that the wealth you built is not destroyed by future generations. This requires an entirely different philosophy. You are no longer just an investor. You are a custodian or a steward. You are not just building money, you are building a system of values and principles that can protect that money. This is the level where you find yourself worrying about things like trust fund babies and shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. At level 80, you use your capital to fund things that can create impact over 50 or 100 years. You are not just buying rental properties, you are funding groundbreaking research or building institutions. You are using your wealth to try to shape the future of society. Your focus shifts entirely from accumulation to management and allocation. You have automated everything, and you have highly paid people at every previous level working to keep the whole thing running. You are the high-level architect. The biggest danger at level 80 is internal. It is the failure to pass on the discipline and wisdom that were required to reach level 80 in the first place. You are trying to use your wealth to create stability, but you must also ensure you do not destroy the ambition of those who will inherit it. You have reached the final miles. Level 90, Philanthropic Legacy. At level 70, your money provided freedom. At level 80, your money provided for your family. At level 90, your money changes the world. This is the level where wealth is no longer about accumulation or security. Wealth is a utility. It is a tool to address systemic problems that governments, businesses, and individuals cannot solve on their own. This is where you find the people who fund global health initiatives, who fight to eradicate diseases, or who fund revolutionary social movements. The problem you are solving at level 90 is not how do I get richer. The problem you are solving is how do I use my billions of dollars to create the maximum positive impact possible. You are now a systemic architect. You have enough wealth to move the needle on a global scale. A level 90 person does not buy problems for themselves anymore, they build solutions for everyone. This requires immense wisdom and strategic foresight. You have to understand complex systems, international politics, and the long-term unintended consequences of your generosity. A bad decision at level 90 does not just lose you money, it can harm millions of people. Your success is no longer defined by your net worth. It is defined by your impact, by the number of people whose lives are fundamentally better because you existed and mastered this game. At this point, the game has been so thoroughly defeated that you have returned to the most fundamental human question: what is the best possible life? And your answer is to use your wealth to help as many people as possible answer that question for themselves. You are trying to build something that will matter long after you are gone. We have covered 100 levels, and we have seen some incredible things. But there is a secret, one final piece of the map, and it is the most important lesson you will ever learn. Ready? There is no level 100. That is right. The entire map, this incredible ladder from survival mode to global philanthropy, is an illusion. The whole system is just a tool we built. Here is the ultimate truth. At level 70, when you are personally free, you have already won. All the levels beyond that, all the dynasties, all the systemic change, they are just one way to keep playing the game. The trap is not money. The trap is the pursuit of money without understanding what it is for. If your goal is to reach level 99 just because it is a bigger number than level 30, you are guaranteed to be miserable. Level 99 will not make you happy if level 40 did not make you happy. Money is not success. Money is a tool that gives you choices. The goal is to accumulate enough automated income so that you can choose how to live. If your passion is writing poetry in a small cabin in the woods, you can reach level 70 and you are done. If your passion is running a huge global foundation, great, you need to go to level 90. The real game is to figure out your personal end game. When are you done? What does freedom mean to you? Once you know that, you stop trying to climb a ladder that has no top. You start building your own life on your own foundation. Mastery is not reaching level 100. Mastery is knowing which level is the one you want to live in, and then having the freedom to live there. We have seen the map, and we know the ultimate secret. Now, how do you actually start climbing? How do you take the first, hardest step from level 1? Regardless of where you are starting, the process is always the same. First, you must create surplus energy. You have to spend less than you earn. This is the friction that fuels everything. At level 1, it is a fight. At level 3, it is an operation. No, it is always the fuel. There are no shortcuts. Second, you must build automated systems of accumulation. You take that surplus energy and you use it to buy things that have the potential to grow. In the beginning, this is a tiny stock portfolio. Later, it is a business or real estate. You are using capital to decouple your time from your income. Third, you must manage risk. At every level, you need a different shield. At level 1, it is stability. At level 10, it is diversification. At level 90, it is political wisdom. Your biggest job is to ensure you never, ever slide back down to survival mode. And fourth, and most important, you must define your enough. What does freedom mean to you? When will you choose to be done? If you do not answer that question, you will spend your life climbing a ladder that has no top. Money is just a language. It is a language for options and freedom. Learn the grammar, master the vocabulary, and then use that language to write your own story, a story that is not dictated by survival, but by purpose. This invisible game is the underlying structure of our world. Now you know the rules, and you have the map. So, where are you starting today? And more importantly, where are you going? The map is in your hands. It is time to play.